What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video I want to talk about the Vib sale. Now this sale is coming up. I don't actually particularly know what day I'm going to be posting this, but the sale goes from October 30th to November 9th, I want to say. If the dates are wrong, I will have a photo of the sales information right here for you guys. I generally don't do recommendations just because that's not where I feel I thrive. I feel like I thrive with reviewing products and you guys choosing what you want, let alone a lot of my favorite products in my actual collection I cannot get from Sephora. So this is definitely interesting for me, definitely a new thing for me, but I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a review or a recommendations video in case you do want to hear my recommendations. This is kind of where I would stick. I tried to pick something from every category of makeup, but some categories, like I said, I just don't have anything that I would recommend from Sephora. So this is what I got. If you're wondering about this, I did record it. It should definitely be up before this video, I think. I don't really know. It'll be linked down below if it's available. If not, it's coming very, very soon. Yeah, let's just get into it. Okay, so what I'm going to try and do is go by kind of the order that I put makeup on. Go by the order that I put makeup on. I just forgot about two products. And we're just gonna go from there. So I have two primers that I personally would recommend. My favorite primer, honestly, and this has been a favorite for quite a while now, is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. This is one of those products that Smashbox pushes on everybody and their mother every day, all day. But I think it's for good reason. For me, it's really nice. It is a silicone based primer. So if you don't like silicone based primers, I would not recommend this for you. But I find that it does really good job at mattifying my face and keeping it matte for an extended amount of time. I really do enjoy it. It smooths out my pores as well. I'm not a very big person that's like gonna put an additional primer just to smooth out my pores. But if I can find something that helps to decrease my oiliness and smooth out my pores at the same time, your girl is about it. And I like this product, I do, and I've recommended it to friends and all that jazz, and to my knowledge they enjoy it as well, so I'd recommend this. Okay, next, the other primer that I actually prefer and I actually really do enjoy is a hydrating primer, and this is a sample obviously, but this is the Becca First Light Priming Filter blah 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 blah. I enjoy this. I think that this helps me if I'm wearing a mattifying foundation. It really helps me to get some luminosity to it. And so for right now, okay, I didn't say before, I am a combination oily. I am very oily in my T-zone, pretty normal, can get oily on the outer perimeters of my face. And I enjoy kind of a more natural finish foundation with medium coverage, and I find that this primer is really good at bringing out some luminosity to change my more mattifying foundations to look somewhat more natural. So that is what I like to use this for. I would have purchased a full size, but I ended up getting a full size of a different hydrating primer, and I actually enjoy that one as well. I wanted to try both. I already had a sample, so I figured I'd get that other one. But eventually I probably will go ahead and pick up a full size of this because I actually do enjoy it. It's just that, like, I don't need a million different primers. I'm not that person that needs a bunch. So once I get through maybe one or two more primers, then I'll probably go ahead and pick up a full size of this eventually. Okay, next I want to go ahead into brow products. I don't have anything to recommend. For me, my brow products, I prefer for them to be cheap. If you really want to get something from Sephora, I would say that I do enjoy the ABH Brow Wiz. That I do enjoy it, but honestly I can't be bothered to spend that money on that product. And I also have had their brow gel, and I really do enjoy that too, but once again I just refuse to spend the money. I think the last time I got it in a holiday kit. Maybe I'll do that again this year, but I refuse to spend all that much money. I have perfectly fine drugstore products that I think work for my brows. Okay, moving on, I usually do foundation next. So I have 3 foundations that I would recommend. I enjoy all of these foundations, which is why I have not touched them lately, because I'm trying to get through the foundations that I enjoy but least enjoy. I want to keep the beauties that I really enjoy for later, so I can really get my use out of them, and I'm trying to like push through all the ones that I could push through. So the first one I personally want to recommend is Dior. This is Dior Backstage foundation, and this is in the shade 6N, right? Yep, 6N. I love this foundation. It gives such a beautiful skin-like finish in my opinion. I feel like this is more medium coverage, and this is pretty close to my normal skin tone, not summer shade. None of these are going to be my summer shades, but I really do enjoy this foundation. I think it works beautifully and I would highly recommend it. I don't know if I did a review on these foundations. If I did, I will do my best to link them down below for you guys. Next is the Smashbox Studio Skin 16-hour wear foundation. Now, is this 16 hours worth of wear? I wouldn't say so. My skin is extremely oily, so it does break down foundations quite quickly, but I love the finish of this foundation. I love the coverage. This is in the shade 4.3, and once again, this is pretty close to my skin tone. I think this is closer to like middle of summer going into my winter shade. You know what I mean? Like that going down from being tan situation. And I really enjoy this foundation. Again, really nice coverage, really like skin finish beauty situation. Like I said, I think this is more medium to buildable, and I really do enjoy it. So I would highly recommend this. And then the last foundation is one that I've already gone through a full size, and I have now the correct shade for me, and this is my Fenty Pro Filter foundation. This is a mattifying foundation, so do keep that in mind. I have this in the shade 440, and I really enjoy this foundation. I love the coverage. For me, this is once again a medium to buildable. This is matte, and this will pretty much be the only matte foundation that I keep in my collection after I get through a couple others. Will I continue to repurchase this? I don't know. I really do enjoy it, but I don't like too much matte. I think I should always have one mattifying foundation and one full coverage foundation in my collection, just because it's something that would be different. But I don't know if I'm going to continue to repurchase this, but I would recommend this if you have not tried it, or if you just are interested, because I really do like it, but I don't know if I'm going to continuously repurchase it, because like I said, that is my second bottle. Now going into concealers. So I thought I had a Kvd Quan concealer somewhere around here. Maybe it's lost in this. I don't really know where it is. I could have sworn I had a Kvd Quan concealer, but I don't know. Why is everybody trying to sabotage me today? Thank you, dear Lord. Okay. I thought I had a Kvd Quan concealer somewhere around here. I don't know what happened to it, but I would recommend that concealer. So I'll try and find a photo and put it on the screen. I'm pretty sure it's available at Sephora. If not, just ignore that recommendation. Anyways, next is my Urban Decay Naked Skin. This is my #1 favorite concealer. I highly recommend this. This is like a really nice, in my opinion, medium coverage concealer. Very natural finish. You're not going to get a mattifying finish with this baby, but I really enjoy the coverage and how light it is on my under eyes. And yeah, I really love this concealer. This one is in the shade Dark Warm. I always have at least one of these in my collection, and when I get through the other concealer that I'm about to mention, I will definitely run into this one because this is my favorite. I really enjoy this concealer. And the other one that I would recommend is the Kvd Locket Concealer. I think this is actually a really good concealer. This is full coverage. I'm not a huge full coverage girl, but this is full coverage and I have been getting quite a bit of use out of it. This is the concealer that I've been reaching for right now, getting my use out of it. I am starting to see some pan on the outside, which is always good. That means I am using my products. This was actually a gift from my best friend because it was too dark for her or whatever. I don't really know, but she ended up giving this to me, and I like it. I like it. Will I repurchase it? Personally, no, but I do like it for full coverage stuff. I just am not a full coverage person, so having a full coverage concealer is just not something I need. Full coverage foundation, I think 1 or 2, not too bad, but full coverage concealer, I just don't have that much, in my opinion, to conceal. It's just not that deep. So yeah. Okay, let's go into powders now. So I have one pressed powder I want to mention and then 2 loose powders. The one pressed powder I want to mention is my Fenty Beauty Invisa Matte powder. This is in Universal. As you can see, I have gotten quite a bit of use out of it. I have a huge pan. This is actually currently in my project pan, and I really do enjoy this powder. This is the only powder, not the only powder, this is the main powder that I use to set my face today. I use it to set my under eyes and then set the base of my foundation and all that jazz. I think this is a really good powder, and I think it does do well with mattifying my foundation and my concealer and all that jazz. I don't tend to go back and use this to like touch up, just because I am too lazy to touch up products. Like, I just, once it's on my face, it's a wrap. I don't care how good or bad it is. I'm wearing it for the length of time that I'm keeping that makeup on. So either way, I would recommend this powder. I think it does a really good job for what I like it to do. And yeah, like I said, I have two loose powders that I would recommend. The first one is this Milk Makeup loose powder. This is their Blur and Set powder, and I have this in Translucent Deep. Full disclosure, I actually got this sent to me in an influencer box. I've been too lazy to actually do what I need to do to get another box sent to me, but it is perfectly fine. This was a beaut, okay? This is so nice. I enjoy this shade of powder and this type of loose powder to set my base, and I think it did beautifully. It's a beautiful powder. I cannot wait to go ahead and reach into this soon. I'm just enjoying pressed powders right now. I'm not in a loose powder mood, but when I get into a loose powder mood, this will probably be one of the first ones that I really reach into. I'd highly recommend it. Personally, I do not reach for this shade of powder to set my under eyes. I just feel like no, but I do reach for this shade of powder to set my whole base, and I think it does a really good job. And I do think that it does smooth out your pores and just smooth out your base overall. So I would recommend this powder wholeheartedly. And the other powder that I would recommend, and kind of to set your under eyes and also your base, although I think this does kind of lighten up a little bit my base, is my Too Faced Peach Perfect powder. I really do enjoy this. I hate the scent, hate the taste, all that jazz, but this is a really good powder. As annoying as it is to say, this is a really good powder, and I would highly recommend it. And yeah, I'd say go for it. Okay, oh, one more powder left, and I only have a sample of this. I do want to get a full size, but I have quite a bit of powder, and I don't think I need a full size right now. And this is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Powder in Cashew. I really enjoy the shade of this and how fine the powder is. I think it works beautifully. It just sinks into the skin while setting the product and mattifying the product. I just really enjoy it, and I would highly recommend it. Like I said, once I get through this and at least one or two more of my powders, I will be getting a full size of this because I love this powder. Okay, so we're gonna do an intermission, and we're gonna say something that I forgot to say in the beginning. Or should I say it now? I'll wait to the end. We're gonna wait to the end. We're gonna keep going. Okay, next is generally for me bronzer. You guys know how much I love bronzer. We're gonna start with a cream bronzer, and then we're gonna go into the powder bronzer. So the one cream bronzer that I recommend that I have tried from Sephora is Fenty's cream bronzer. I know I have a lot of Fenty stuff, but like, she just does things that I enjoy. So this is the Fenty cream bronzer, and this is in the shade 06 Chocolate. I think this is a really good shade. I love that this is not the darkest cream shade. I'm pretty sure she has an 07 shade. I really enjoy this cream bronzer. It obviously is cream, but it goes down to a powder finish. Beautiful. It really does blend in with your base, in my opinion. And I have used this both under powder and over powder, and I think it works beautifully. And that's what I need my personal cream products to do, because half the time I forget that I want to use a cream product until after I set my base. It's automatic for me. So having a cream product that is versatile in that manner is really important to me, and that cream bronzer is. So I have 4 powder bronzers that I would like to recommend. The first one is actually from the Sephora brand, and this is in the shade 06 Ibiza. So this is the darkest shade in this line, but this works for me, and it's so beautiful. This is a matte bronzer. So if you don't like matte bronzers, I would not recommend this, but it has a really nice undertone and all of that jazz. If you're interested in any of these bronzers that I'm about to talk about, and even that cream bronzer, I did do a video where there are swatches and all that, so I would recommend that video, and I will try my best to remember to link it up in the cards and down below for you guys. But I would definitely recommend this cream or that powder bronzer. Next is a Jouer Duo, and this is in the shade Deep to Dark. It has the two shades of Sun Glow and Sun Gaze. I have tried now both of the shades. I do prefer Sun Gaze, but Sun Glow does work on me. It's not as obvious. So if I want something that's really light, or even something to help blend out a darker powder bronzer, I will go into the shade Sun Glow. But if I want just a beautiful one-stop shop bronzer, then I will go into the shade Sun Gaze. So I would recommend this. Also, food for thought, if you are interested, the Sun Gaze shade is in the face palette that Jouer just released. So if you're interested in trying that shade of bronzer, but you also want a little bit more, you also want a highlighter and two blushes, that is another option. I am considering picking that up. We'll see how things roll. I will hopefully be doing a wish list video for this sale as well soon, hopefully. Cross your fingers. Okay, let's keep going. Then we have, of course, the Fenty powder bronzer. This is in the shade Mocha Mommy. I have the darkest shade, and I do have pan. I don't think you guys can see it because I kind of stopped right after I hit pan. I did not want to have to repurchase this. I really do enjoy this bronzer. It's really nice and warm. There is definitely a red undertone to this baby, so if you're not a fan of that, I would not recommend this bronzer. I really do enjoy a very strong red undertone, as you can see by my bronzer today. And yeah, good things. Okay, the last bronzer I want to recommend, it has a awful smell, but I really enjoy the finish. And these two are matte finishes, by the way. Okay, awful smell, beautiful finish, beautiful undertone. This is the Kosas bronzer in the shade Deep. I absolutely love this bronzer. This was one of my favorite bronzers from that last bronzer roundup that I did. I really enjoyed this bronzer, and yeah, I would recommend it for you guys in case you are interested. This has more of a satin finish. There is kind of a sheen that it leaves at the end of the day, but overall I really do enjoy it, and especially because I do more of this natural finish foundation, it works. It just works for me overall. But if you do a matte foundation, I don't know how well a satin skin-like bronzer really will blend into that base, so do keep that in mind. Okay, for blushes, honestly, powder blushes, I really just don't have any that I personally would recommend, and I don't have any at all, any highlighters, cream or powder that I'd recommend, just because for me, my favorites aren't available at Sephora. So there's no, oh yes they are. So we're just gonna pull that back. I do have one highlighter that I want to recommend. Well, it's a palette, but yeah. Anyways, let's just go ahead and do that really quickly. It is my Abh Dream Glow Kit. You guys know I get so much use out of this, an obscene amount of use out of this, and I would highly recommend it. And I'm pretty sure Sephora, oh, is this not open at Sephora? Maybe it's only at Beautylish. Ew. I think this is still available at Sephora, but this is the only highlighter available there, hopefully, that I would recommend. Everything else, they're cute, but it's just not a favorite for me. Okay, two cream blushes that I would recommend, and the first one is another Fenty product. This one happens to be in Daiquiri Dip. Now, I'm assuming the formula out of all of her cream blushes are the same. What I love about this cream blush is that yes, it's creamy and very malleable to the touch, but once you put it on the skin, it's a powder finish. So it's just beautiful, and you don't need to put a powder on top to set it. You don't need to set it with like a loose powder. It just sets itself, and that's what I love about cream blushes. Once again, I have tried this under powder and over powder. I think it works beautifully both ways, and that's what I need from a cream product. So I would highly recommend this one. I don't think I'm gonna get another shade just because I need to streamline, center all of my makeup purchasing. But if I could, and if I had the money, I would definitely get at least one more shade from this range. And then the last cream product that I want to recommend to you guys is this Milk Makeup cream blush lip product, and this one happens to be in Quirk. Once again, a very similar shade, or very similar finish to the Fenty cream blush, where it is obviously malleable and it is a cream product in its packaging, but once you get it on the skin, it is a powder finish. That is what I like, and that's why I'm recommending those two cream blushes. Now, eyeshadow palettes. For me, right, eyeshadow palettes during the Vib sale, I recommend going big or going home. If you have something that you refuse to spend full price for, this is the time. But keep in mind, depending on the brand, a lot of brands do minimum 30% off and more during the holiday season, during their like friends and family sales. So do keep that in mind if you are interested in some of these higher end brands or just more expensive palettes in general. Two brands that I would recommend picking up either now or during their friends and family sale just during this period of time. One, of course, is Mcgrath. Now, I have currently 2 palettes from Mcgrath. I am considering getting a third one. This one that I pulled out is her Mothership, oh Lord, Subversive. I think this is the third one. And this is what it looks like. It is the purple one of her original lineup. I really do enjoy this palette. I don't get enough use out of it, but I intend to. I have changed my makeup layout around, so I have this right here in my like desk area. So I do want to get more use out of it. The pigmentation and blendability is beautiful. The shades that people love from this palette are her 4 like special shades. I really do enjoy those special shades. If you are an avid indie purchaser though, you can get something very similar from other brands. So do keep that in mind. And the other brand, of course, that I want to recommend for you guys is Natasha Denona. I do have a Natasha Denona palette currently in my cart for this sale, and this one happens to be her bronze palette. So this is the $65 range. I also do have one of her like $200 ones. I got that on sale. Okay, sale. And this one I basically got for free, low-key. So those are the 2 brands personally that I would like be checking for, and I currently actually am checking for when it comes to the Vib sale. But overall, I'd recommend you buying products during this sale that you've wanted pre a sale, but you haven't had the money or you weren't willing to spend the full price on it. There are 3 lip products that I want to recommend, and they're all from the same brand, and they are all Mcgrath. I think that spending an obscene amount on lip products is stupid. Why I spent full price on these, I honestly, I don't know. I had no business buying these full price, but I did, and I do enjoy them. So I do want to recommend them to you guys because they are a good quality. They are a good product, but I would recommend you spend your money on them during a sale. Once again, Mcgrath may do a better sale than Sephora does. Sephora's sale at maximum is only 20%. They might do maybe 25%, even 30%. I really don't know. I never paid attention to Mcgrath's holiday sales just because I haven't had the money lately. But the one that I would like super recommend is Divine Brown. I really just have been in love with brown lip products lately. So this is the one I would really recommend. But I recommend her matte trance lips products. Those are the only ones that I have gotten around to trying, and yeah. So these are all the products that I would recommend. In all of these products, right, I recommend you shop around. depending on where you live, you may be able to get these products for 25% off, 30% off from another distributor. I know Beautylish, Beauty Bay, all of those kind of other distributors do sales during this time as well. Take the time, shop around, get the best price for the products that you prefer. Shop around for other people's recommendations videos. Other people may recommend things that are more up your alley than I do. I may recommend something you hate. I may recommend something you love. Shop around. Take the time now or even during the sale to really decide what you want. But in my opinion, use these sales to buy things that you have wanted before or that you were already going to purchase and just get it for a discount. Don't buy stuff just because it's on sale. Please don't, because in the spirit of Kimberly Clark, if you buy these things just because they're on discount, they're going to just sit in your collection and you're not going to get the use out of them. Spend the money on things that you've actually wanted prior or you were already planning to pick up. And that's kind of my mindset going to this Vib sale. Hopefully I really stick to that, and I hope that I don't pick up too much, because I'm really trying to have several seats. But that's it. Those are all the recommendations that I really have for you guys. Let me know if there's something that you would recommend me pick up. I would love to hear from you guys, especially because you guys know me, you know what I like, you know what I don't like, and I love to be recommended products. Who knows? I may pick up a couple of things. Right now, I'm leaning towards not picking up very much, if I even pick up anything during a sale, but we will see. We will see what happens. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And always, y'all, Black lives do matter. Please remember to wear a mask, stay safe. Please remember to register to vote. Also, please do check down below in my description box. I have links to the Black Lives Matter movement and also ending SARS. Please be informed about that. The United States is not the only place in the world right now that is going through things right now. There are a lot of other countries that are having really important movements that I think we all, as millennials, younger and older individuals, really need to be informed about. So yeah, that's all I got.